Must be said, that is very, very impressive.
Loaded from Midlands Airport in the hands of Captain Stephen Barnes, two senior first officers on board, Ian Joy and Douglas Small.
Manoeuvring away from the centre line, out to the northwest, he will then configure the aircraft with the landing gear down, flaps at 30, and on the way back in he'll come through for a dirty pass, which he will continue round into a 360 loop, known as the Dirty 360.
DHL has 3 of these 757-3JHFs, and none of the other DHL aviation carriers, of which there are several around the world, use the 767. The first of these was only delivered in 2009. They're all new build aircraft, ordered from Boeing in 2007. DHL has 3 more on order, and the 767 freighters are also operated on DHL's behalf by several of its contracted airlines, like the North American carriers ABX-Air and Atlas-Air. A standard load on the upper deck for optimum single-sector utilisation comprises 22 so-called AAX cargo carriers of over 314 cubic metres each, and 2 AAJ containers of 20 cubic metres each, with a number of other containers on the lower deck. Total capacity, 11,884 cubic feet on the upper deck, 3,585 on the lower.
This aircraft from DHL-Air UK, based at East Midlands Airport. The company celebrates 30 years of operation this year, having been formed in 1982 as Inland Air, operating charter cargo flights on behalf of DHL, using back then the Armstrong Whitworth Argosy, the Handling Page Herald, and the Vickers Merchantman variant of the Vanguard.
A good view here of the winglets fitted to this 767, fairly standard equipment now for many airlines as they help improve fuel efficiency.
And the boat is the second point, the brake gear, starts to head to a 360-degree turn, keeping the flaps at the 20-degree position for dirty turn.
The 767 was Boeing's first wide-body twin-engined airliner. They saw it as a replacement for the 707 and similar aircraft. United Airlines was the type's launch customer in July 1978. Took an initial 30 examples of the 767-200. It was the first Boeing jetliner to be offered with a choice of power plants, either the Pratt & Whitney JT9D or the General Electric CF6, and it's the latter that we see on this DHL-Air machine today.
Completing 360-degree turn. He'll continue the turn on with a 45 degrees away to dumbbell out to the right, where he'll come through for a slow pass.
Service entry was in September 1982 with United Airlines, American Airlines, and then TWA took the type as its next 2 customers, and soon there came the extended range -200ER model. And the 767 was the aircraft behind the use of what's known as ETOPS, Extended Range Twin-Engine Operational Performance Standards, for transatlantic services. Those have allowed twin jets to fly a greater distance from diversionary airfields, and it helped render the 767 extremely attractive. Fuselage stretchers produced first the 767-300, that being the model we see here, and then the -400.
We mentioned the Japanese KC-767. The Japanese Air Self-Defense Force also have 4 Boeing E-767s in the AWACS role, based at Hamamatsu Air Base, where the runway was actually reinforced to support that type's operations.
And very importantly, the US Air Force finally selected what's known as the KC-46 as a replacement for its KC-135 Stratotankers in the air-to-air refueling role.
Yes, the first 18 of those are due for delivery in 2017.
Here he comes now from the right, 300 feet, 135 knots for the DHL pass.
This year, by the way, marks the 30th anniversary of this type at the British Airshow scene. Its first display was at the 1982 Farnborough show as the 7X7.
Display station, he'll turn to right 45 degrees, power on, stop and it's 1,000 feet, then come all the way back round for his final high-speed pass.
Boeing launched the freighter version of the 767 in 1993. Its first customer was UPS. Today, conversions as well as new builds from Boeing are also offered. Boeing itself performs them, as does IAI in Israel and Wagner Aeronautical.
Over 1,000 767s have been delivered, of which almost 850 remain in service worldwide.
And still it's in production. A new order from FedEx for 767-300F freighters was announced only last month.
Its long-term success, though, is in production. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which entered service in October last year with all Nippon Airlines in Japan.
See speed building now, coming in for what will be the final pass of this display down the main display line, 300 knots, and it says here 100 feet. Maybe it'll be a little bit higher than that for this high-speed pass up into a 30-degree climb, levelling off at about 4,000 feet. Climbing away there to complete a really imposing display by DHL-Air's Boeing 767-3JHF.
Yes, very impressive, Phil. I know you were very keen to see large aircraft displayed like